Hello and welcome. This is Jaime Tan at Enlightened Spoon, and you are watching a live stream meditation for about 30 to 45 minutes. And if you're watching the replay, you can also catch the replay on the website enlightenspoon.com/meditation. Today's session, along with all the other previous sessions, also live online there. I am live on Facebook as well as on Instagram. Hey Sam, nice to see you. And if you're on here on Facebook and on Instagram, can you just give me a wave if you can see me and if you can hear me, just to let me know that things are a-okay? Hey Alex, nice to see you. Cool. Let's just wait a couple of minutes for more people to join on, because it normally takes Instagram and Facebook a few moments to tell people that I'm live. How's your day been? Hey Elsa, nice to see you. Hey Emma, good to see you too. Sweet. Okay, so lots of people joining on Instagram. I'm not sure if anyone's joining on Facebook because Facebook has changed their live system and it's a bit of a mess. Anyways, while we wait for more people to join, I am going to pull a card today. So again, I really love this. Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back, an affirmation card deck. It's super beautiful. The illustrations, so all of the cards are illustrated on the back. And on the front, there's like positive affirmations with all kinds of different beautiful paintings on them as well. So, a moment of positivity for all of you. I'm going to ask the universe what message it has for us today. Okay, so let's see. What message does the universe have for us today? I keep doing this. Keeps all flying out of my hands. Hello, Mr. Dragonfly. Nice of you to join us. Instagrammers, can you guys hear me? I'm guessing you can see me. Just a yes or a wave or thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, and then I need to concentrate on these cards now. So, what message does it have for us today? Cut the deck, and let's see. Oh, this is beautiful. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to put that up there. Oh, that's for, I'm going to bring this down so people on Facebook can also read this. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Isn't that beautiful? Hey, Christina. Hi, Violet. Nice to see you guys. Hi, Alex. Good to see you again. Ans, good to see you. Cool. So, positive affirmation for you today, and maybe while we wait for more people to join in, let's think of one positive thing that happened to us today. No need to tell me what it is. If you'd like to share, feel free to share in the comments, but just think of one positive thing, even if it's small, because when we focus on the good gets better. So while we wait for more people to join in, I'll do a quick little introduction into who I am. I know some of you here. Oh, Christina, hey. Facebook is working. Okay, perfect. Yeah, there seems to be more people joining on Instagram every week anyway. So, but it's good to know that it's working on Facebook as well. So, quick introduction into who I am, Jaime Tan at Enlightened Spoon, and I know a lot of you that are joining on now, which is awesome. It's nice to see familiar faces. I am an executive producer at Wieden & Kennedy, an advertising agency, but I also teach yoga and meditation, and I am also a wellness coach. So I'm kind of bringing both my worlds together in helping stressed out creative people, high performers manage a super high stressful life, and through the tools of nutrition, of fitness and movement, as well as through meditative tools such as meditation. and mindful living techniques, really. So that's a little bit about who I am, what I do. And today, the style of meditation that I practice and I teach is from the school of I Rest Yoga Nidra. So essentially, it is a Yoga Nidra practice, which I am adapting today. And if you're familiar with the Yoga Nidra school, usually it's about a 30 to 40 minute practice where you're laying down on the yoga mat. And I want to make meditation easy and accessible, because I know that meditation tends to be this dirty word almost today, right? Or mindfulness. Dirty word in the sense that, like, I feel like generally people these days think of meditation as something that's, you know, a self-righteous monk sitting on top of a mountaintop meditating for 12 hours a day. And who's got time for that crap these days, right? We're all busy. We live these lives that actually a meditation practice could really help us tune in and check in with what's going on with ourselves. But by the same token, we don't have a lot of time either. So I am adapting this practice to be about a 15-20 minute practice today. And with lots of really easy tools to check in with your body, to check in with your breath. And these are techniques that you can use little and often throughout your day. So if you like today's practice, all of these practices live online on my website, enlightenspoon.com/meditation. So today's session, along with all the other previous week's sessions, are on that website link. So anytime you feel like, oh, it's just a little bit like there's too much going on right now, take a 10-15 minute time out during your day and just put any of these meditations on, check in with the body and check in with the breath. Really, really easy. Yeah. So if you are new to meditation, as I think a lot of you might be, you can choose any position that you want to sit or lie down in, right? Yes, you can lie down. So if you have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, get comfy. Run around the house now, go grab a blanket, grab pillows, grab cushions. If you don't have a yoga exercise mat, you can also lay down on the rug, on the carpet. Maybe put something comfy, you know, like a blanket or a duvet underneath you. I would suggest the floor rather than the sofa or the bed. I mean, you can if you wanted to as well, but knowing that being on the sofa or the bed is gonna start to get a little bit too comfy, and then you might start to drift off into sleep. And if you do drift off into sleep, it's fine. It happens, right? Especially when we're new to the practice. Have a little bit of compassion for yourself and kindness for yourself as well, because it's just like going to the gym, right? The first time any of us goes to the gym, it's not like we're going to walk out of there with 6-pack abs, right? Because, you know, it's going to hurt for a little bit. The first few times you're going to be like, what the heck is going on here? I'm not really sure, right? And then you're just starting to get used to the moves. And it's the same exact thing with the meditation practice as well. At first you're going to be like, what's going on? And then maybe you might get glimpses of starting to focus and concentrate a little bit, but sometimes your mind might just wander, and it will happen. And that is completely natural. Have kindness with yourself, you know, just check yourself in that moment and realize, oh, right, there goes my thought again. And then just bring yourself back to wherever we're at in the practice, right? Check in with the breath again, check in with my voice and where I'm guiding you through again. So it's perfectly fine. The more we do these practices, the more neural pathways you start to build in your brain to be able to help your brain realize that, oh, I'm doing this thing now. Oh, I'm sitting down and I'm focusing now. Oh, you know, and then the more you can do this little and often throughout your day, the easier it'll start to get. Just as like going to the gym, it's like such a great analogy, right? The first week is going to be painful. The second and third week starts to get a little bit easier because, you know, you're just building these like muscle memory, right? It's the same thing. So take heart. It's all good and it'll come. It's a practice, right? So if you're new to this practice as well and you start to feel like you very easily lose your focus, what could be helpful for you too is to pop your earphones on, so that, I mean, there will be sounds in the room, there'll be sounds outside the room, and that's all very natural. But when we first start these practices, sometimes if you just have the earphones and only focus on my voice, that can help you stay in that moment. And of course, eventually with practice and time, when you take the earphones out, you start to welcome all of the sounds around you. And no matter what might be going on, you could still be able to hold your focus. What could be helpful for you too is if you're lying down, if you have an eye mask, to put that on. It's again one of those things where it's like, you know, shutting out the sounds around you, shutting out the light around you. You don't even have to have an eye mask or an eye pillow. If you have like a jumper, just the sleeve of your jumper, you know, you can put that over your eyes as well. And have a nice blanket, cover yourself. Usually when we start to relax and go into a deeper state of relaxation, your body temperature starts to fall. So having a nice blanket over you could be helpful as well for now. So run around the house, go grab what you need to grab. And in the meantime, I'll talk a little bit about today's theme of the practice. So if you've been following me the last few weeks, you know that I work a lot on body sensing and breath sensing. Because when we start to call out different parts of the body, that starts to light up the different parts of our brain. And through all of that and the motor neuron system, it starts to bring the body into a deeper state of relaxation. And as I call out different body parts, you don't have to do anything with it. It's literally just bringing your focus and your attention to the different body parts. And then we start to move into breath sensing as well. So today, the theme is sensing out into the space and into presence. And how I'm going to be doing that is through the body and through the breath. So if some of you might have a meditation practice, this might be a bit of a familiar, or even if you don't have a meditation practice, sometimes any kind of activity where you are focused on one thing for a while, like running, like cooking or baking, what else could you be doing? Coloring, illustrating, you know, where your focus is on one particular thing, you start to get into the zone, right? And you're just literally being in that presence. It's a really hard thing to talk about, to put into words, but it's a felt sense, it's an experience. And I'm sure we're all familiar with that experience, right? So it's an unchanging awareness, and that is always there. So if you think about it this way, hey, Mr. Dragonfly, yes, Vipassana, there is, yes. So a lot of the body and breath sensing techniques are mindfulness techniques, which is kind of what Vipassana is, sitting and watching, right, what the thoughts are. So if you think of yourself as this ocean, right? And at the top of the ocean where the waves are, all these changing thoughts and emotions and physical sensations, right? From moment to moment, you have a gazillion thoughts, a gazillion feelings and emotions, and they're always going to be changing. And that's at the top of the ocean. And that's where we learn to sit and watch these changing emotions, thoughts, and sensations. But if you move deeper into the ocean, all the way down into the depths of the ocean, there's this quiet stillness that's there, right? And this is what I was trying to explain earlier. It's very similar to like when you're running, cooking, baking, when you start to focus your attention and you come to this really quiet space inside, right? There's this unchanging awareness and presence that's there. And it's always there. right? So no matter what's going on up here on the surface with the thoughts and the emotions and the senses, there's this anchored, grounded centeredness that we have. And so I'll start the practice today by helping us find this quiet centeredness within ourselves, is what we call the inner resource, and finding your inner resource, right? It's your inner anchor. And I'll guide you through it. But from this place of anchored, unchanging presence, this awareness, we start to then feel out into the body through the breath and out into the skin boundary and beyond the skin boundary. So we start to play with that a little bit, because awareness is here, anchored within us, but awareness is also everywhere around us, right? And this might sound a little bit woo, maybe, but it's a feeling. It's a felt sense. It's an experiential thing, and I'd like to help us get to that point today. Let's see, 20 minutes maybe. So, and even if we don't get there today, at some point, you might feel glimpses of it. And as we can keep doing this little and often, we start to get more and more of these glimpses, right? Yeah, so essentially that's kind of what the practice is today, to move beyond the skin boundary, move into awareness. And if anything, I would stay open and curious today. No preconceived notions, just kind of really open yourself up into what today's experience could bring you. Perhaps a bit of self-inquiry. Because at the end of the day, I feel like meditative practices really help us connect back to the sense of self. Who am I? Where am I? What am I? And maybe that's all kind of like, too big and broad right now, but we all start somewhere, right? So yeah, that's where we're going to be starting today. So newcomers, just really want to reiterate again today that it's very natural for your attention to drift. And when it does, have compassion for yourself, and no need to beat yourself up over it. Just bring yourself back to my voice and where we are at in the practice. Okay? So with that said, let's open into today's practice. So find yourself wherever you want to be, laying down or sitting down. Get comfy. Pull your blankets over you, put your earphones on, put your eye mask on. And start to really arrive here in this room and arrive here. I'd like to open today with a poem from Young Pueblo. It's from his book, Inward. Beautiful prose. And it's titled, Healing Yourself Will Ask More of You. More rest, more self-love, more letting go, more time for learning, more space for transformation, more honesty about how you feel, more time developing good habits, more courage to try new practices, more faith in yourself and the process, more time cultivating your inner peace. Beautiful. And as you lay here, allowing these words to sizzle through and fizzle through you, taking a few moments now to lengthen the exhale. And just feeling yourself grounding into the surface below you. And the surface below holding you back. Noticing where you might be holding on to any tension in the body, any tight spots, any constriction. Now release it on the next exhale. And just using the exhales to allow you to release into one deeper level of relaxation. Just really allow yourself to sink deeper, sink inwards. Now opening with curiosity and a sense of welcoming. Is the nature of welcoming spacious, permissive? Allowing what is arising to come through. If there's any emotions, any thoughts, or even any physical sensations. And opening with an intention. What brought you here today? How would you like to feel after today's practice? Perhaps even stepping into that feeling right now. So really embodying that feeling right now. Perhaps it's a sense of rest, and that's why you're here today. Perhaps it's a sense of calm and ease. And if that's why you're here and that's your intention, then really stepping into that feeling of peace, calm, ease. Resting into that inner resource within you. Finding that quiet, still space. Perhaps even using your exhales to drop down further into that quiet space inside of yourself. If it's helpful, perhaps using images of places or people that bring about these feelings of peace, calm, and warmth. So perhaps there's a place in nature that you like to go to, if it's in the mountains, or the forest, or the lake, that brings about this feeling of peace and calm. Perhaps there's a favorite person, or an animal, or a favorite plant that brings about these feelings. And perhaps you're cycling through some of these images in your head right now. But really start to feel into that felt sense in the body. So not just thinking, but feeling it. And if it's a place that you're in, really start to see it, step into it. And if you're seeing it, what do you hear? If you're hearing it, what do you smell? Really bringing this place to life in all its vibrant aliveness. And then now really feeling into that felt sense within the body. Allowing these images to fade away as you really anchor into that openness, spaciousness. Perhaps there's a warmth that's there. This is your inner resource, your grounded space. This anchored presence is always within you. At any point during this practice, you can always come back to this grounded, centered inner resource within you. At any point during your busy, manic day, you can always bring yourself back to this inner resource. Now feeling sensations in the mouth. Just really sensing the lips. Tracing these sensations up through the ears. Sensing the eyes. Perhaps relaxing the eyes and the eyeballs just a little bit more. Sensing the forehead, top of the head. Tracing sensations down the back of the head, back of the neck, throat. Now tracing sensations down the left upper arm, left forearm, left hand. On the next inhale, using the breath to sense your way back up through the left hand, left forearm, left upper arm. Then exhaling down through the left upper arm, forearm, hand. So a few more rounds in your own time, inhaling through the left hand, all the way up the forearm into the left upper arm. So inhaling and exhaling out through the left arm. A few rounds in your own time, really deepening the breath. And feeling if the breath can start from deeper in the belly. Continuing to inhale and exhale through the left arm. And on the next exhale, extending beyond the skin boundary as you breathe out. And then inhaling from beyond the skin boundary as you breathe in. Exhaling once again through the entire left arm, beyond the skin boundary and out into the space. Inhaling through the space, through the skin boundary and up the left arm. A few more rounds. Inhaling and exhaling through the left arm and beyond the left arm and out into the space. Really feeling this felt sense within the body. Feeling the left arm with each breath. Vibrant, radiant sensation. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Now in the next inhale, through the space, through the skin boundary, all the way up through the left arm, moving across to the right arm. Now as you exhale, tracing sensation down the right upper arm, right forearm, and right hand. Exhaling out. As you inhale through the right hand, up the right forearm, up the right upper arm. And continuing exhaling out through the right arm and inhaling through the right arm. Few more rounds in your own time. Now on the next exhale, as you move down the right arm, extending beyond the skin boundary as you breathe out. Inhaling from beyond the skin boundary as you breathe in. Once again, exhaling out through the right arm, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. Inhaling through the space, through the skin boundary, and up the right arm. So a few more rounds in your own time. Exhaling out through the right arm, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. And then inhaling from out into the space, through the skin boundary, all the way up the right arm again. Feeling all the sensations, moving in and out, up and down the right arm, and beyond your right arm in all directions. Taking your last inhale up through the right arm. Now moving sensation down the left leg. So exhaling down the left upper thigh, left shin and calf, left foot. Then using the inhale to sense your way back up the left foot, shin and calf, and up the left thigh. Several times exhaling down the entire left leg. And inhaling back up the entire left leg. Really taking your time, extending the exhales, extending the inhales, all the way up and down the left leg. On the next exhale, as you move down the left leg, extending beyond the skin boundary as you breathe out. Really feel the breath go beyond the skin boundary in all directions and light up. And inhaling from beyond the skin boundary as you breathe in, all the way up the left leg. Really taking your time and savoring this moment. Exhaling once again through the left leg, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. Expanding. And as you inhale through the space, through the skin boundary, up the left leg. A few more rounds in your own time, really feeling that left leg light up with vibrant sensation with each inhale and exhale. Traveling down the left leg, through the skin boundary in all directions, and out into the space. Just expanding the sensation through the skin boundary. Expansive, open. Now with your next inhale, through the space, through the skin boundary, all the way up the left leg, all the way up to the left thigh. Then moving sensation across to the right upper thigh. And as you exhale, moving down the right shin and calf, down into the right foot. Using the next inhale to sense your way back up the right foot, right shin, right thigh. Several times just exhaling down the entire right leg. And very slowly on the next inhale, back up the entire right leg. On the next exhale, extending beyond the skin boundary as you breathe out. As you go down the leg through all directions, extending beyond the skin boundary. And then inhaling again from beyond the skin boundary as you breathe in. Exhaling once again through the right leg, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. Just really feeling that expansion through the skin boundary and really move and expand out into the space. Inhaling through the space, through the skin boundary, and up the right leg, all the way to the right thigh. And then continue as you exhale, expanding out as you move down the leg beyond the skin boundary and out into the space. And really feeling that right leg light up now. A few more rounds in your own time, inhaling and exhaling through the right leg and out into the space. Feeling into the openness, expansiveness. Now in the next inhale, traveling all the way back up through the space, into the skin boundary, all the way up through the right leg. Now as you inhale, sensing the entire front body. On the next exhale, extending beyond the skin boundary as you breathe out through the front body. Several times in your own time, inhaling from beyond the skin boundary as you breathe in into the front body. Exhaling once again through the front body, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. Several times just feeling into the sensations of the entire front body. Feeling this open expansiveness through the front body. Now switching over to the back body and sensing out through the back body. On the next exhale, extending beyond the skin boundary as you breathe out through the back body. Inhaling from beyond the skin boundary as you breathe in from the back body. Now once again, as you exhale through the back body, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. Inhaling through the space, through the skin boundary, through the back body. So several times in your own time, inhaling and exhaling through the back body, And really feel your way out of the skin boundary, beyond the skin boundary, and out into the space. Really feeling into the sensations, physical sensations. Now in the next inhale, sensing the entire body, front and back. On the next exhale, extending beyond the skin boundary and exhaling out through the entire body, front, back, sides, and out into the space. Several rounds, just feeling your entire body light up. Feeling into these sensations as you're inhaling and exhaling through the skin boundary and out into the space. Several times, really sensing into the body. And out into the space. Noticing any thoughts or emotions that may be present. Allowing everything to be exactly as it is. No need to change or control your experience. Just always using the inhales and exhales through the entire body and out into the space. If it's helpful, weaving back in the sensations from your inner resource, that grounded, peaceful place of well-being, your anchor from within. Can you anchor in here a deep underlying stillness? Resting in this unchanging presence of awareness. True nature. Open. Spacious. And as you open into this presence, is there a sense of joy? And perhaps dipping into this joy, kindness, compassion from within, sending this through the skin boundary and out into the space, to your loved ones, your community, and out into the world. Really expanding from within you, perhaps from this heart space from within the rib cage, all the way through the skin boundary and out into the space. Sending this joy, kindness, and compassion out into the whole world. A moment of gratitude. Touching back into the one positive thing that happened to you today. A moment to touch back into your intention for today. Acknowledging it and embodying it with your entire being. Perhaps feeling it from within your inner resource. This deep underlying essence of well-being and being. Very slowly in your own time. Opening and closing your eyes a few times. Just really taking your time with this. And then coming back together as a group. Welcome back. If you'd like to stay in this quiet bubble, if you'd like to do another 5 minutes of asana, then bounce out of here, you're very welcome to do so. If you have any questions or comments, I'll be here for minutes to answer any of your questions. And if you enjoyed today's practice, this will live on my website. I'll be posting every single session on my website. The link is enlightenspoon.com/meditation. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your presence. And if you have any questions, if this was a bit weird or you know something came up for you, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Mr. Dragonfly. I hope this was a beautiful experience for you as well. Not quite Vipassana, but it touches into a very similar feeling inside. If you have any questions or comments that are more personal that you don't really want to talk about here, you can always send me a direct message on Instagram or on Facebook. You can email me as well, Jaime@enlightenspoon.com. Thank you very much, Violet. Oh, thank you so much, Elsa. Thank you for coming. Beautiful. Love it. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this practice, really come back to it, because the more you can do these practices little and often throughout your day, just pop on the recording, like, you know, for the next week, every day, come back to it. You'll start to build these neural pathways, like I said before, that then help your body, your brain, and your mind to come back to this. It starts to get easier to focus on the different things, and we can go really deep with these practices, and this is just the start, right? So yeah, thank you, Ans. Dankjewel. Thank you so much. If anybody has problems sleeping and you'd like a sleep meditation, you can find it on my website as well. I have a 12-minute sleep meditation that you can put on just before you go to sleep. It's on the same link, enlightenspoon.com/meditation, and you can log on to there and download it. I'll play any of these other like recordings as well, which could really help for you. So it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. Let me just check Facebook as well and see. I don't think anyone on Facebook has got any questions. So this is great. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this. I wish you a very good evening. Thank you for your presence. I do these sessions every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. So join me here on Instagram and on Facebook. And if this time doesn't really work for you, then I also do a Friday morning session at 10 a.m. Central European time. But you have to log on to, it's through the production company Caviar. They do an amazing series of workshops and online classes specifically for people in the advertising and creative industries. So this is part of their Caviar Connects series. So if you go to caviarconnects.com, it's a Zoom link that you can register for. And I'll do very similar meditations to what I'm doing tonight as well. So I'll see you either here next week or on Caviar Connects on Friday morning. See ya, bye.